We're on.
We're on. Welcome to Things Got Better When I Started Drinking.
Things got better for me when I started drinking.
That's the one.
So this is our first video.
It is indeed.
And so this chap here, I'm Andrew.
I'm Will.
And I'm a therapist, a sort of hypnotherapist, psychotherapist. So I've worked with people who have drinking problems, lots of different kinds of problems.
And I was a drinker for 36 years and have now been in sobriety for 5.
So we thought we'd start doing little talks. We're trying to develop a kind of show or an entertainment or something to do with drinking and alcohol. So Will's written a book.
Yes.
Called
Not Alcoholic But.
And it's a sort of self-published thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's very good. I really do think it's good.
Thank you.
And it's very open and honest. And it's also it's trying to kind of bridge that gap between this whole idea of are you an alcoholic or aren't you? This whole way of defining, the problem. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm not as bad as this. I'm not as bad as that. And I think it's it works very well at just telling your story, really.
Yeah. Yeah, and a word about the title. Things got better for me when I started drinking. It kind of sums up for me really everything about my drinking in a very sort of microcosm way, as well as in a large, all-embracing way. Mm-hmm. Because when I first had my first ever drink, the world sort of pretty much changed for me instantly. I'd always had this idea that drinking would be fun, that it would be different. My parents did it. I could see other people, adults doing it.
You had that idea before you started drinking?
Long before I ever had a drink. It was something that was denied me, and I remember other things that as children we do, things that we're not allowed to do as children. And drinking was one of them. Smoking was another one that I thought was attractive.
So what about the age then? So if you think of the age when you started the drink.
Yeah.
But so how young were you then when you actually really still had that, when you started formulating this kind of dream of...
7. I was about 7. We're on holiday, and our treat at the end of the holiday, but from about the age of... We were allowed, about the age of 8, to have a small glass of wine at the last night of our holiday in Cornwall, back in the 1970s. And I remember that being very, very important to me, and I remember thinking about it all year round, that this was a major part of the attraction and excitement of the annual summer holiday in our family.
So that just blows my mind.
Does it? Why is that?
Because I just can't imagine it. Because it wasn't in my thoughts, and I was thinking if I went on holiday, I don't know, my mum and dad, we would go to France or something, and there would be a glass of wine, a bottle of wine. I think. I mean, it's not in my. It's not there in my. I'm only imagining it.
Yeah.
And the idea that that it was there as a thing or a reward or a pleasure or.
So when did you have your first ever drink?
So, no, we had this. You asked me this, didn't we? Because we've written down all these bits and pieces, little stories, and I really don't know when my first drink was, because it didn't really sort of mean anything. Yeah. Again, my mum and dad, they were sort of wine drinkers. Yeah. And funnily enough, when we went to school, I remember saying, "Oh, my mum's a writer," and the school, and this kid went, "Oh, is she an alcoholic then?" And I told my mum that, and she thought it was very funny. So there was wine, and there was a sideboard. There was the Campari, the Cinzano, and maybe a bottle of whiskey. Yeah. And people would bring wine, and there was food, and there was sort of dinner parties type thing.
Yes.
But I just don't remember my first glass. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was you can have it with a meal or something. Yeah. And I don't remember the first time I went. I remember going to a pub as a sixth former, but that was kind of like just sneaky getting out of school. Yeah. Not even sneaky, but in lunch times. And my mate, I think we did have probably half a lager, but I don't even remember that. Maybe it wasn't even a lager. So it's kind of weird, the differences.
Yes.
And you had that kind of dream of it
Yeah.
even before
Yeah.
it meant anything to you.
And then when I realised it did a lot more than just make me part of the adult world of being included in the drinking process. So the first experience of it really giving me something back that was attractive was, I think I've mentioned it to you before, as at school, and we made beer. We did fermentation in biology, and we started making big vats of liquid at the beginning of term, and I didn't really think about it. I didn't really know what fermentation really, what they were talking about. I was about 13, 14 years old, and at the end of term, the last biology lesson of term, the biology teacher said, "Right, okay, well here we are. This is what we did at the beginning. This is the fruit of your labour in terms of the experiment, and here's the liquid." And it was alcohol. Liquid. I just couldn't believe my luck. I mean, I thought, this is ridiculously fantastic. Here I was, somebody who looked forward to one glass on a summer holiday. By then, I to be fair, I'd had a few, the odd sip of Dad's beer or whatever, so I kind of knew what it was. But this was an opportunity to seriously fill my boots in a schoolroom. And what's incredible was that the people around me, the other boys, it was a boys' school, thought it was quite unusual that I would want to do that. Anyone would want to do that. They didn't like it. They kind of mimicked
you were already
the taste of this thing, and I just thought, well, who cares about the taste? This is an opportunity to see what happens.
It'd be interesting to know if there was anyone else like you, who developed a taste, they might say, or had a secret taste or something. It's unlikely that you were the only one.
It's unlikely, but I think I was the only one in that classroom on that day. Nobody else around me was doing it, and I was horrified that nobody else wanted to join in. I thought, this is what a crazy thing. But I've been a bit of a square. I'd been a bit bullied and teased. So suddenly this changed my status.
Yeah.
In an instant, and I found myself being chatty and talkative, and I actually quite liked myself, for the first time. And this is the thing where we come back to the title. Things did start to get better when I had a drink, and this is because this is what it did. It loosened me up.
I meant it ironically. It's not an ironic title, folks. Things really did start getting...
Things really did, and not just then. There were other occasions. Things go wrong if you're a drinker and you end up being called or calling yourself an alcoholic. It won't have been fun all the way down the line, that's for sure. But there were some fun moments, and things were helped. And
so can we just clarify? So my title is not ironic.
No, it's not ironic.
It's
really true.
Right, we're going to stop there.